Why South Africa is still segregated. Look, guys, I've been here off and on for 3 years. Y'all already know my story. I can't repeat it every video. Y'all already know, right? My time being here, when it comes to segregation, I'm just speaking from my experience. I don't know if I felt it because I predominantly see black people. But I would say this, y'all. I recently had an opportunity to go party at I don't know what you want to call, I forgot what the place was called, but it was nothing but white folks. And when I tell y'all I had the time of my life, it was a good time. It actually reminded me of being back home in the US. I'm not gonna hold you. Like the music they were playing, y'all know how the white people clubs, they be like they'll play a trending song. And then all of a sudden, the mug will get remixed, triple dub, and it'll go do 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 do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking. It was one of those type of parties, bruh. Had the shorties walking around giving away shots and stuff. Hey, when I tell y'all I lived my best life, you know what I'm saying? I was living my best life that night. I haven't partied like that in a long time. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? They really showed me a good time. I'm not gonna hold you. But other than that, man, I really have not. Actually, at that club or at that place I was at, it was predominantly white people, right? And then outside of that, I see predominantly black people everywhere. So this is where all the white people go. Apparently, there's white people here. Mixed in, there was some sprinkle of some black, and I was part of the sprinkle of the black inside the club. You know what I'm saying? I was part of the sprinkle in the black. But like I said, I don't know. Besides going to Cape Town, I think when it came to my black people living in a certain area, then you got your color community in a certain area. But I've never been to the white community. I never knew where the white community was. I knew where the color community was. I knew where, you know what I'm saying, all the black people live. But the color community, I mean the white community, I don't know where they be at. I guess they be at Clifton or where them big houses are, the European house, where all the Europeans live. I don't know, bruh. Joburg, same thing, bro. Predominantly black people here. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the segregation, bro. As y'all can tell, I'm not familiar with the segregation. I can say this has nothing to do with South Africa, I know. But this was my experience when I went to Namibia. The whole plane was full of white people, bro. Honestly, I think I was the only black person on the plane. I was the only black person on the plane that I seen, that I remember. The whole plane was white people. Bro, I get there, I don't see a lick of nobody's white. I don't know where the white people went, bro. They disappeared. I'm like, bro, is there a secret Namibia within Namibia that I don't know about? Because, bro, I feel like I was all over Namibia. I was at Windhoek. I went to the beach, to Swakam, that place. Bro, I was all over Namibia, bro. But I did not see the white, I'm telling y'all, it blew my mind, bro. It blew my mind to see, the whole plane full of white people. Then I get there, then I don't see any white people, bro. Do you know how crazy that is? I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to a place with a lot of white people. I get there, bro, there's no white people in Namibia, bro. I did not see not one after I got off that plane. After I checked in and got with my peoples that I was supposed to meet up, it's not like I was they took me to the ghetto or they took me to I don't know, a predominantly black area. Bro, I was in the main place, on the map. They got the star. I was there. Bro, I didn't see the white people, bro. I don't know where they went, fam. They went to the mountains somewhere. I don't know. We're about to go ahead and check this video out, though. Why South Africa is still so segregated. I'm curious because, bro, I stay here, and I still don't know why. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really see it. I guess, I don't know, bro. Let's check this video out together. If you're new here, smash the like the video. Check it out.
Strip in Cape Town, South Africa, divides the beachside community of Strand from the township of Nomzamo.
Okay, we got Strand and Nomzamo. Okay. Hey, look at Strand. Look at these houses over here. Bro, ain't no way it's this close. Ain't no way it's this close by this little strip right here. And you got... Damn, come on now.
Only a few meters apart, but the people on each side live very different lives.
you can
Strand
tell.
has backyards and driveways. Nomzamo is much more dense, and the people here have fewer basic services. Less piped water, less internet access.
Bruh. And look how, bruh? Look how close it is. How do y'all have less water on this side and y'all this close? Less internet access and y'all this close, bruh.
And Nomzamo is majority black, while the area across the line is majority white. If we use dots on a map to represent race, you can see how stark that divide is. If we zoom out to the whole city, we can see it's actually everywhere.
Wow.
And this is the case across much of South Africa.
Bruh, I never knew this, bruh.
The color of your skin here often determines where you live.
I'm about to start going to these white areas and see what they be doing over there, bruh.
It also determines your quality of life. This map shows where jobs and opportunities are primarily concentrated in Cape Town. And this is where most of the city's black people live, in informal settlements called townships on the city's periphery.
People have to move by public transport for up to 3 hours a day, and they can't take care of their obligations in the community with the rest of the family because they're always working and they're always traveling.
For decades, South Africa was under apartheid.
Hold on. I want to read
And
these
they're
signs.
always traveling.
Men, non-whites only. Hey, this reminds me of back at home. It's kind of like segregation. I mean, it is segregation, but it's the same thing. I feel like that's why African Americans and South Africa, we relate so much, bro. Our history is a lot similar, bro. When it comes to segregation and apartheid, it's a lot similar. I don't know if y'all know what I'm saying, before apartheid there was like slavery and y'all was outside picking cotton, doing that kind of stuff. I don't know nothing about none of that. But as far as, you know what I'm saying, and once we got past slavery a bit, you know what I'm saying, things got a little better. We got into segregation. But I think segregation and apartheid kind of similar, right? You know what I'm saying? You got your blacks only, your whites only, you feel me?
For decades,
Imagine, bro. Imagine being that dense that we it's crazy to fathom now that we couldn't use the same bathroom. We couldn't drink out of the same water fountain. We couldn't go to the same public theater or public places, bro. That's just so crazy, bro. Like, humans are weird, bro. Like, how did we get to that point? Bruh. We all got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh.
South Africa was under apartheid, a system that wrote segregation into law. A white minority controlled where non-white people could live, work, exist.
And that's the crazy thing. That's what's crazy to me, bro. How white people was like dominant in the U.S. So it made sense for them to control all the black people. You feel me? How in a place where the black people were dominant, mostly black people, that we being controlled by a minority of white people? That's insane, bro.
Many were forced out of their homes. In 1994, a democratically elected government took power and ended apartheid. It was supposed to be a new beginning. But a lot of the country still looks like this. And that's because South Africa's legacy of racial division goes back centuries.
Why every time there's a racial divide? Come on, white folks, bro. Like, y'all always, like, y'all the reason. If we gonna be all the way honest, y'all the reason why it's like this. Like, every time white people got their hand into something, there's always a divide. Y'all always divided and conquering, huh? That's what divide and conquer, bruh.
In the 1600s, the Dutch took over the southern tip of Africa to supply ships with food along the trade route to Asia. 150 years later, Britain seized it and named it Cape Colony. Many Dutch colonists moved here, further inland, to
Hold on, they named it Cape Colony. Nigga, they went to the trap, took over the trap, named it Cape Colony.
escape British rule and continue exploiting enslaved people. Just like the Dutch, the British used Cape Colony as a strategic location for trade. It wasn't economically significant. But in the 1870s, that changed when the British started mining diamonds there. Suddenly, Cape Colony was one of Britain's most prized and exploited colonies. In order to get the diamonds out of the country, they built railways to connect the mines up here to the coast. The railways allowed the British to access a global diamond market through the port city of Cape Town. Soon, the economy of Cape Colony was centered around the railroads, especially this main route. The green areas on this map show the black regions of Cape Colony, largely left out of the railroad economy.
Dang. So hold on, this is around KZN, right, y'all? Durban, I think East London, maybe around here somewhere. Am I wrong? Am I right, y'all? Over here, I couldn't tell you this area, but I think this is East London, Durban.
Racial inequality in Cape Colony
Or is that up here somewhere? I don't know.
was being reinforced by location. To keep it that way, the colonial government started writing segregation into law. The Native Lands Act of 1913 pushed Black people into these areas, only 8% of South Africa's land, and restricted them from
Imagine, dog. 8% of the land of all this. Black people was pushed to only 8% by the minority white people.
owning land everywhere else, or relocated them to the edges of the major cities to work for white people. These laws began to shape the region. Cape Town's growth from the increased trade turned the port town into a major city. Many migrants from the rest of the colony and elsewhere moved here, to what was then the outskirts of Cape Town, where former enslaved people, merchants, artists, and immigrants were forming a neighborhood called District 6. As the city grew around District 6, so did the neighborhood. For decades, District 6 was a thriving, integrated community.
We were a very cosmopolitan, you could say, family.
So we saying integrated. Are we meaning like it was mixed with like Black people, white people, maybe Indians, colored people, you know what I'm saying? Everybody together getting along, you know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King type ish.
Almost, because there were people from all different nationalities, from all different walks of life.
This was the statement, your child is my child.
But it wouldn't last. In 1934, Britain's legal hold in what was now the Union of South Africa officially ended. The remaining white minority, the descendants of Dutch colonists, took control. And
dang, bro. These is the people, y'all. They always look the same too. They always look like this, bro. They all look like they don't like Black people, bro. Colored people. They look like they don't like us, bro. Definitely this one right here in the middle. And this one right here. Definitely this one. Yeah.
they built on the foundation the British were leaving behind. Between 1949 and 1971, the all-white government passed 148 laws solidifying apartheid.
Apartheid allowed for the full realization of the ambition of the fascist project in South Africa.
In 1950, the Population Registration Act officially classified people by race: white, colored, and native or black, and eventually Asian. Then they made laws saying where people could live. Around the country, Black South Africans were moved into these areas, called homelands or Bantustans. Bantustans were rural areas and had underdeveloped economies. Many of them were in the areas Britain had already excluded from the railway economy, and where Black land ownership had been restricted to. Black people were forced to carry passbooks that specified where they were allowed to work or travel to.
Bro, what?
In cities like Cape Town, the Group Areas Act moved the remaining non-whites into separate urban areas.
The most prime land and the land closest to higher valued property was allocated to white people.
In 1966, the government declared that District 6 was now a whites-only area. The residents of District 6 received
Imagine saying, in your country that you was born in, you can't go into an area because it's a whites-only area. People who came from another country telling you you can't go to a certain part of your own country. That is no longer your country.
removal letters like this one that said living there was illegal because they were not white. Bulldozers drove into District 6 and razed it to the ground.
We lived here. We had a life here.
It was very traumatic for a lot of people.
It's like ripping out someone's heart.
More than 60,000 people were forcibly removed from their homes. This kind of violence against non-white people was commonplace around the country. But after decades of pressure, both from within South Africa and abroad, apartheid rule finally came to an end. The new government lifted restrictions on where people could live. Millions of people who had been excluded from economic development for centuries migrated to major cities looking for basic services and economic opportunity.
For any family with no prospect of employment, the most rational, logical choice to make is to migrate to an urban center.
They settled where there was empty land, creating townships on the peripheries of major cities, like Cape Town. The government built millions of homes and expanded clean water and electricity.
But it had a number of unforeseen consequences, the most important of which is that the only land that could be used for the public housing program was on the periphery of the city. And for that reason, a brilliant intention to overcome the apartheid legacy unintentionally reproduced the very same legacy it was trying to undo.
Today, 60% of the mostly Black population of Cape Town lives in these townships at the edge of the city. The thing is, Cape Town city center has land to develop, but because of its location, it's valuable. So it usually gets sold to private developers who build luxury apartments.
I'm sure most of these places is owned by Europeans, maybe even Chinese people.
Nearly $1 billion worth of them are going up by the coast. But right in the heart of Cape Town, by all the expensive developments, District 6 remains largely untouched. The former residents have fought against private development, and they've actually succeeded. Some have even managed to return to houses built by the city.
I wanted to come back here where I was born, which was part of our whole family's heritage.
I couldn't believe that I was back. It was a sense of relief.
But there are still hundreds of claimants waiting to get back to District 6.
We haven't done the difficult and the painful work to confront what the intergenerational consequences are of colonialism, of apartheid.
The story of Cape Town and South Africa's racial segregation starts far in the past, but it's very much entangled with the present. Apartheid and colonialism here.
This is insane right here, y'all. It's just mind-boggling how close it is. Like, literally, bruh. There's rock across you in the white neighborhood, bruh. Or this neighborhood, whatever you want to call it, bruh. Same thing on the other side, bruh. And what is this in the middle? This part right here. These is houses too.
Are over. But many of the barriers they built have yet to be dismantled.
The kind of psychic scars that's left on individuals and on communities, we haven't begun the work of saying, how do we live together, right? In the face of that history.
Yeah. that we see, bro, because they got a whole barrier splitting up everybody, bro. They got a whole barrier splitting them up. Look, man, like I said, this segregation, okay. This segregation's a lot deeper. It goes a lot further back than yeah. You know what I'm saying? It goes a lot further back than we can talk about in this video. Like it goes far. And my experiences now is like I haven't been to an area where it's like right across the street. You know what I'm saying? Like what they showed, and I've never been to that type of area. But I can say that, you know what I'm saying, most of what I've experienced here is predominantly black people. Other than if I go to a white establishment, like I did, in that story that I told you, I went to that white club. But it's crazy, bruh. It's crazy, and it's crazy to think that, you know what I'm saying, U.S. and SA history is a lot similar. It's very very similar as far as segregation. Now that I didn't even know y'all had slavery, bro. Y'all had slavery. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Comment down below y'all thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all think that eventually we can get past, you know what I'm saying, the separation? Um, will we be able to see in that picture? Will we be able to see those walls, those barriers getting broken down, and people living together in that area? I think, in my opinion, it would be very very difficult because one side is still behind from the other side. You know what I mean? The other side is flourishing, they're building, and then the other side is kind of like is handicapped, bruh. They don't have internet access. They right across the street, no internet, bro. Like, come on, fam. Right across the street with no internet. So they're already handicapped. You know what I'm saying? They're behind. If we can give them a boost, then I think we can see both, you know what I'm saying, flourishing. But hey, man, we don't know, man. We don't know. Comment down below y'all thoughts. Hope you guys enjoy my reaction, my commentary, this, much less.